Hey guys, we're out in the shop today. We got us a new little project to work on. This is from the 2011 Hot Wheels Performance line. It's a Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. We got this several years ago, and between Temple and the grandkids, they pretty much played with it to death. As you can see, she just don't want to roll. She won't hardly roll on her own power at all. I don't think she'll. Yeah. See, she's kind of janky. So we're going to take her apart, see what we can do about cleaning her up. May try to customize it to some degree, but she definitely needs a good cleaning. So we're going to see what we can do with this little thing. One of the things I like the most about it is the grill, but I think this funky plastic on the front is going to have to be adjusted so we can see more of that grill. Alright, I'm going to get started working on it, and we'll see if we can't get this thing put back together right. Alright, as y'all can see, we have our Project Toyota Land Cruiser here on the track. Just to give you an idea of how bad she is, she don't move at all. She needs a little help. We're going to see if we can make her roll again. Alright guys, we got two post mounts on the bottom that we're going to have to drill out. I've got my little drill here. We're going to get started and see if we can't get this thing to come apart. Alright, so as we get ready to drill these, I've already drilled these out most of the way. You got to be real careful on this back part because it's just plastic, but you just drill it out right there. You can feel it give when it's ready. And then the front part is our metal post, and it should be just about ready to come out of there now. Again, I have done a lot of the drilling ahead of time because that's kind of a loud process, but it's real. You can see it wanting to let go right there, and there we go. The base is apart. So we'll get her cleaned up and see what we're dealing with. Alright. Alright, we can definitely see it has been played with quite a bit. It is filthy. This gives us a better look at the wheels and just how jacked up they are. Front ones don't look too terrible from this view, but they are bad as far as not wanting to roll. Back ones are really bad. Alright, I'm going to get this thing cleaned up and then show you what it looks like. Alright, so I got Temple out here, and I put him and his Spider-Man toothbrush to work getting our car cleaned up. By the way, Temple, don't use that toothbrush again.
Yep. And don't think that we're disgusting and be like, okay, I'm going to use it now. Yeah, that's just disgusting. That's what weird people do.
Yeah, well,
that's
why I made sure to tell you. Alright, I think we just about got it clean. Go ahead and set it on our rag over here, too.
Is that regular?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Alright, so there we go. We got it cleaned up.
Let's get started.
Yeah. We're going to have to clip those wheels off.
Yeah, they're kind of bent and stuff.
Yeah. You did a number on it. Alright, be back in a minute.
Bye.
Alright guys, so we got her cleaned up. And we need to take these wheels off. I'm going to cut this axle out. You don't have to go all the way through. You just really need to score it. And then it should just pop right on off of there. Just like so. And I'll do the same thing here on the front. Careful not to damage plastic. That's why I don't cut any more than I absolutely have to. Alright, I'm going to force these old axles out, get that cleaned out, and get ready to go with a new axle. Thought I'd show you real quick. Normally these axles are easy enough to pop out, but the easiest way I found to do it is just take the longer end, stick it back inside, and you can typically push out the smaller one, and then you just take the longer one, then push down, and it will push up. We actually went into our rubber mat here a little bit, but now I'm going to use my side cutters, pick it up, and then you can just pull it out. This has been wet and it had rusted a little bit, but now we've got 4 wheels ready for 2 more axles. Alright guys, so one thing I noticed, originally I thought about stripping it down and cleaning it up, repainting it, but after just cleaning it up, it's in pretty daggum good shape. Just a little paint missing off some of the corners is all. So I decided instead of doing all that, I'm just going to clean it up and put it back original. So one of the things that I'm going to do in cleaning it up is use this new finish car polish just a little bit. In fact, I can just, that little bit I can get off the cap right there is more than enough, and I'm going to rub that down, let it sit a minute, and then clean that sucker up and see if we can't get a little more gloss out of it. I will get just a little bit more, get in some of these rougher areas, but I'm going to let that go to work on it. And also the plastic pieces, now I'll come back to this one because like I say, I want to trim that front brush guard off of there. I don't like it being so big, it blocks off the detail in the grill. Make sure I got that grill, and I didn't really care for that, but I used the Meguiar's Ultimate Black trim sponges on the plastic pieces just to clean them up. Makes it look a lot better. You probably can't tell on that, but I promise you it does. So I'm going to knock those out real quick. Kind of bring these back to life. Get rid of the years of dirt and grime. The Temple has found a way to put in every piece of this thing. He either really liked it or he really didn't. I hadn't really decided. Alright, well I'm going to finish this up and not bore you with all the details, and then I'll get back with you. Alright, so I'm going to take a minute, take my little Dremel here, and see if I can't trim off the front of this brush guard. I want to leave it where it's just basically an extended bumper coming off of it so I free up the look on that grill. So let's see if we can't get this done. Alright, so we've got that off, but I'm going to have to grind it down, get it a little closer. But I think that's going to look a lot better once we're done. Alright, I'm going to finish that up off camera so I can get it a little closer to me. Alright guys, so we got our bumper trimmed down the way I want it. We've got our pieces all cleaned up, polished up, ready to start going back together. I've seen a lot of different ways that people redo these axles on these Hot Wheels. Anything from music wire to just all kinds of stuff. What I like to use is just a regular everyday straight pin out of Grandma's sewing kit. You can get like 500 of them for $1 or something like that. Anyway, just take one of the wheels, slide it through, and it holds it. It's not going anywhere. Alright, then you don't even have to clip out your little pieces. It'll just slip right in there, just like from the factory. And you come in on the back side and you put the other wheel in like so. Make sure you keep that pushed in there as far as you can. And then I take just a little bit of super glue. You don't want too much because you don't want to glue the wheel to the base of the car. You just want to glue this one wheel to the actual axle. We'll let that set up a few minutes and then we'll do the back one. It'll be done the same way. Alright guys, I've given it about 60 seconds to be honest with you, and I have rolled the wheel to make sure it's not sticking to the base, and now I'm ready to move on to the back wheel, back axle. Again, I'm going to grab it the same way and I'm going to slip it through. Hold it up. Get my rear wheel. Slide it in there. If I can hold it still. And put a little glue on the back one. Alright, that wasn't the easiest thing to do. But now I'm going to set it down. Make sure it doesn't stick. And we're going to let that sit there for about 5 minutes. At which point we'll come back and we'll trim the excess off the stick pin. Keep anybody from sticking themselves in the future. Alright, be back in a little bit. Alright, so we're back. Giving it a few minutes to dry. And you can see how those stick pins stick out there. So the next thing we're going to do is just clip that end off. There we go. And now we're in pretty good shape. Now we just need to put it all back together. Alright, so we're going to get it put back together now. The first thing we're going to do is we take the rails, put in there. Now we take our interior, put it in there. Take our reworked chassis, put it on there. I'm going to go ahead and put our first bit of super glue in right here where this post was. If we had actually tapped that out and put a screw in it or something, it would have been much stronger. But this one's really not going to go back into day-to-day play use for Temple, so I didn't see the sense in it. We're just going to glue it into position. Alright, I'm going to let that sit there for several minutes, let that glue dry, and then we'll put the spare tire, which is actually our back post, in and glue it into position, and then we should have a working truck once again. Alright, that should be long enough to let that front post dry. Maybe a little wet still, but now we take what is the spare tire. We're going to drop it in. It'll only go one way. Get it in position. We'll turn it over. And same thing. We'll super glue that plastic post in. We're going to give it some time to set. And we'll come back and see how well we did. Alright guys, well there we go. We've got our Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40 put back together. Looking 100% better. It's all cleaned up, shined up. And as you can see, it now rolls with no issues. We're going to put it on the track and see if it'll actually roll down the track this time. Alright guys, we got her on the track. There's a look at that new grill now that we've got that brush guard out from in front of it. And I don't expect it to do very well, but I'm going to run it against our week 1 pick 6 champion of the week, the red Diesel Boy. And we're going to see which one can get to the end of the track the fastest. I'm rather sure it's going to be the Diesel Boy, but we'll see what the little Toyota will do with its off-road tires. Alright, on your marks, get set, go! Well, I was right, the Diesel Boy took it. But you can see our little Toyota off-road didn't do too bad with its stick pin axles all put back together. Alright, thank y'all for watching.